Ladies and gentlemen, Gene DiNapoli.
Hello, Gene.
Hi. How are you?
Hey, Gene, how are you?
Good, buddy. Welcome.
Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. Happy Monday. Happy 80-degree weather Monday.
Beautiful, right?
Yes, gorgeous. Global warming, murder hornets, COVID. And I heard thunder last week, and I said, my niece said, "Is that thunder?" I said, "It could be Godzilla."
It could be. You never know.
Yes. Hi, everybody out there in social media land. Good evening and welcome to another episode of Reminiscing with Gene DiNapoli. I'm your host, Gene DiNapoli, with my producer, Mike DeRita, right there. Everybody, I want to welcome you. Mike, how was the weekend?
It was a very nice weekend. Went very fast. We went up to an undisclosed location.
Undisclosed. Okay.
Undisclosed location for a little anniversary, little weekend, and then we're back.
Well, happy anniversary. How many years has it been?
6.
6 years.
Yeah.
Wow. God bless you. 6 years.
Yep.
Have you ever had a fight that you won?
Nope. Not yet. Not yet. What about you?
No. 23 years and 22 years, and I'm still losing every battle.
How was your weekend, Gene?
Really relaxing. I was supposed to film this week, but one of the actors got COVID, so they postponed it till the next month. So I had a couple of nights off, and we went out and celebrated our friend Howard's birthday, one of our sponsors.
Right.
So we did that Friday and Saturday. And then yesterday I had the pleasure of performing at an 80th birthday party in an undisclosed location in Long Island for a guy named Bud. So Bud, we want to wish you a happy 80th.
Happy birthday, Bud.
You know what, Mike? When he walked in the room, I thought the guy was 60.
Wow.
Yeah, he really shocked me. And then today, the singing jobs are far and few in between. But today I got to do another acting job.
Yeah.
And there was a gentleman on the Discovery Channel called Billy Leroy, who had a show called Baggage Battles. And now he's got a show called Billy Buys Brooklyn, which is an antique show. And I played one of his customers today. And that's a picture he is showing today in Brooklyn about 11 o'clock in the morning. We did this.
Wow.
So
very nice.
Yeah. So, hopefully it's going to materialize into more and more stuff. So we're very happy for that.
There's a recurring role for you as that same customer.
You know what? The casting agent actually said, "Oh, when you shave the beard, let me know right away and we'll put you in another show."
Nice.
So that's good. Yeah.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah. Mike, I want to talk about some of our sponsors.
Yes.
So, of course, we're thankful to all our sponsors who are friends of ours and believe in our show. Our show is seen across the United States of America and some countries, as is Mike's individual shows. So if you take an ad out with us, it helps us promote the show better. We don't make any pocket money, but the more we make, the more we put into advertising. And you wind up on this show and a couple of Mike's shows. You wind up on YouTube. And we just got picked up by ItalianAmericanRadio.com.
That's great.
Yes, so all our shows, our MP3s will be listed. So people will hear it all over. So if you want to promote your business, big or small, this is the way to go. So the first one we're going to talk about is our friend Wally, Mr. Positive at Pure Organic Dry Cleaners on 3166 East Tremont Avenue in the Bronx. Pay for 3 items, get your 4th one free by mentioning the podcast. Our next one is our birthday boy, Howard and Karen. They own Dream Destinations Travel. All your cruise and honeymoon and vacation plans. If you mention our podcast, you get a gift certificate, a gift card, either $50 or $100, depending on the package. Then for those of you that are into CBD oils and gummies and pills, our friends at sweetheal.com. the internet's premier CBD business. Mention my name, get 20% off all orders and a free gift.
Nice.
And last but not least for tonight, our friend Francisco, also known as the Creative CPA. Fran has different ways for you to get the most of your money, be it taxes, accounting, or estate planning. All of our sponsors are on our page, Reminiscing with Gene DiNapoli. There's a tab that says offers. Click it and you'll see everybody there. And just tell them you're with us and they'll treat you as best as they can.
Very nice.
So, Mike,
yes,
I know you've been in the business a long time, but I think you've been having more fun with me over the past 2 months. You have met Joey D, Vito Picone. Last week, one of the best guests we could ever think, Billy Vera, Louis Veneria, our friends from Kingpin. I mean, the list goes on and on. Tito Puente Jr., the Italian songstress Christina Fontanelli. Tonight, Mike, you're going to meet a guy who is the only actor to have the distinction, now follow me on this, to have a speaking role in the original Godfather and a speaking role in a TV show called The Sopranos. One considered the greatest TV show of all time, and one considered the greatest movie of all time.
I've heard of those, Gene.
You heard of them a little bit?
I've heard of those, yeah.
Great. So, you know what? So you could put this, get your pen ready, because I know you like to write everything down. So, Mike, will you please bring in my very, very dear and close friend, a tremendous actor, Mr. Lou Martini Jr. Here he is, ladies and gentlemen.
Tremendous, my favorite word in Gene DiNapoli's vocabulary.
Hi.
I use that for certain people at certain times. So I'm honored to give me a tremendous introduction. But I got a beef right off the top, guys. I got a beef right off the top. That picture you have behind, with me with a shirt, a t-shirt and shorts on, everybody else in suits. I got to explain that. I don't know where you got that picture. I was around the corner with Vinny Pastore having pizza or something. We're just shooting. I think we were doing a workshop on something. And a couple of fans had one like dinner with the Sopranos kind of thing. Now, this is a few years ago. The show had been off the air a long time. But it was Tony Darrow, and I can't see who else in the picture.
Vinny, Dominic Cinesi. My dear, dear, dear brother, Anthony Rubistello.
Oh, Rubo. Yeah, your chair is blocking where Rubo is.
Yeah, Gene, let me bring that up. I have
there you go.
Oh, there it is. Oh, Rubo.
Yeah.
My love and Miss Rubo.
Yes.
And that's Arthur Nescarelli, right? I believe.
Arthur Nescarelli, right.
And Tony Darrow, the great Tony Darrow.
Yes.
So what happened is Vinny says, look, the guys are having a dinner with these Sopranos fans around the corner. Let's go say hello. I'm like, Vinny, look at me. Come on. I can't go say hello in T-shirt. Come on. So he dragged me around into the restaurant. We wound up sitting down and having dinner with these great, great Sopranos fans. But as you could see, I was totally overdressed.
We thought you just wandered in there, maybe.
Yeah, it looks like I wandered in off the street.
Well, I did put it up there because you do have a beautiful looking knees. And of course, Rubo was in the picture.
Yeah.
But
Gene, I'm gonna pop off for a little bit.
Okay, but, you have something editing to do.
No, actually, I didn't receive the files, Lou. I didn't get them.
Okay, let me check the retransfer again.
Okay.
Because it said that it went through.
Yeah, it did. For some reason, it didn't come this way yet. So once I get them, I'll work on them and I'll bring them up. Okay. So
great.
Have fun and just call me if you need me. I have some pictures, Gene. Just yell them out and I'll.
You got it, Mike. Thank you. We'll see you in a little bit. Okay. So Lou, can you do two things at once?
I'm trying to minimize you in full screen, which is impossible. You cannot minimize the great Gene DiNapoli. Where the hell is the WeTransfer?
I tell you, Lou, we have gotten comments already. Friends of ours who knew that you were on the cruise with us, Debbie and Jackie. Some new friends you're going to meet soon enough, Frank and Mike and Lucia, who's a wonderful Facebook.
Hey, that was great. That was a great crew going on the cruise with you guys. That was my very first cruise.
Yes.
It says it's still transferring. That's almost over.
Okay.
Release that to Mike. It's 80, almost 900 megabytes of 1 gigabyte uploaded. So All right, so I'm going to push that to the side.
Okay.
Okay, and yeah, then if it's 1 gigabyte, it might take more than this show just to download it.
Oh, really? It's at 890 megabytes of one.
Okay, so I'll send you a message once I get it and ready to go. So goodbye again,
Okay.
guys.
One more question, Mike, before you go. What if I just send one file then? Because I sent like 3 videos. Let's see how this goes. So in a couple of minutes, if you don't get it, I'll just send one.
That's all. That's all. And if anything, we'll turn this into a training video.
There you go.
All right.
Computer 101 with Martini.
I know, right?
Oh my!
In front of all of our fans. So Lou, we're friends. It's going on. I think it could be 14 years, possibly.
It's a long time.
Yeah, we met formally on a set of an independent movie called Bronx Paradise, and you walked in, and at the time I didn't have sideburns or black hair. I had shaved head. And you said, "Whose car is out there with the Elvis plate?" You remember that?
Yeah.
And we became fast friends after that, and we've done some work together. We've hung out together, cruise. I didn't know that you started your career in 1964.
I actually have the very first pay stub from 1964. It must have been background work because it was like $60 or something like that, which was probably the scale for background at that time. But it was Buena Vista Productions, which is Walt Disney at the time. Yeah. I think it still is. Anything built is Buena Vista. But I've tried to track it down what it is, and I can't track it down because that's the only information I have is the pay stub. It doesn't have the name of the program or the movie.
Oh.
But that was it looked like my official first paycheck, 1964.
And that was with Mary Tyler Moore?
No, that was my first speaking part. Now it was 1968 with Mary Tyler Moore and George Papard, and a movie called What's So Bad About Feeling Good. And I played a kid with a big mouth. What's changed?
What a stretch.
Right, a stretch. I played a kid with a big mouth, and Mary Tyler Moore and George Papard are getting married at City Hall. And the stairs that lead up the stairs to City Hall are this gigantic, pristine, big, beautiful staircase. It's just a giant staircase. And I had to run from the bottom of the staircase up to nearly the top where they were holding hands and break their hands up and go through them and run, crying for my mommy. So after about 25 takes of this, I remember I'm 8 years old, my father said, "That's enough. The kid is not running up the stairs again. If George Papard can't get his holding hands and walk down the stairs right, forget about it." And of course, an argument ensued, and I didn't get fired from this one. I did get fired from a Barbra Streisand movie when I was young. This one I didn't get fired from, but they cut it. I had taken, like I said, 25 or 30 takes of running up the stairs, and he was like, "Okay, I think we got the kid. We're good. Let's work on George and Mary Tyler Moore out there, hands or whatever they were."
So this was
like over direct.
Right. This was 1968.
1968. So I guess if it was released in 68, then it probably shot in 67.
So you got to work with Mary Tyler Moore before Elvis.
When is a Bad Habit? Yeah, right around the same time, probably, right? Bad Habit is 69, so she probably shot that in 68.
Yeah, there's an interview where she said to Elvis, "Elvis, you could really be a good actor, but you'll never be a Lou Martini." She said that.
She knew right from the beginning.
She knew right from the beginning.
This kid is special. This kid. And so, then the following year is I guess it was the first firing of my career. I was doing a movie called Funny Girl with the great Barbra Streisand. And, of course, me and my big mouth again. I was doing playing a kid on a subway station. Not a subway, but a rail station. Back in the days when they had the rail stations. And I must have been just being a noisy kid because she was taking direction a couple of feet away from me. And at one point, she turned and said, "Somebody want to shut that kid up." So I looked her right in the face and I said, why don't you go fix your nose? Yeah. You don't say that to Barbra Streisand. So the next thing I know, again, my mom and dad are running on the set and people are yelling and I'm crying. And I have a great picture on my wall of remember Anne Francis, that beautiful Anne Francis? Sure. What a nice woman. What a beautiful woman. She took me to the side. She saw how upset I was, and I was crying because I'm seeing my father and my mom getting yelled at. They're in this argument, stuff like that. And I still have the picture on my wall. I was crying like a baby, but she explained to me. She says, "Lou," she says, I know you don't like the lady, and a lot of people here don't either, but we can't We can't go saying things about her nose. We know, basically she was saying, we know she's nasty and she's mean and she's not nice, but we can't, say things like that out loud. I'm like, oh, I know, I'm sorry, I'm very sorry. But that was my first firing.
Your first firing.
I haven't been fired since. I shouldn't say my first and only firing.
Well, if Barbara's watching this, there might be a problem after this.
I know. We reached out to the director of film of mine, and the first thing we had to do we're like, oh my God, that story and the picture of me and Anne Francis on the website, get that off before we make the offer to her. She wound up passing on the movie anyway. Matter of fact, that's the King Killer movie, Gene, that you know about.
Yes, of course.
The artist movie that we're working.
Yes.
That you were going to be a consultant on, absolutely.
I'm going to be a consultant, yes.
And I'm going to be wearing all your jewelry.
Every bit of it. Every bit of it. So now between 68 and then 70, 71, you did some bit parts. Did you ever do stage back then, or were you just strictly?
No, I didn't do any. I didn't do any theater work. I worked a lot up until my dad passed. My dad passed in 71. So back in the day, my dad was like, when my dad worked, everybody in the family was working. Like The Godfather, I have like 10 or 12 relatives that are in the wedding scene that he got everybody background work on. And then one of the last memories of working with my dad was, remember the Prince Spaghetti commercial?
Absolutely.
Wednesday is Prince Spaghetti. Anthony, the woman out the window. Okay.
Yep.
Well, I was supposed to do that commercial. Matter of fact, the gentleman just passed that did the commercial. May he rest in peace. I just saw something on TV about a month ago. He had just passed. But they were supposed to shoot that in New York, and I was supposed to do the commercial. Well, the night before we're getting ready to shoot, my father gets a phone call that for some reason they had moved the location to Boston, and that we would have to leave earlier to go up to Boston to shoot the commercial. Well, my dad, being my dad, was like, you're not shooting my kid in Boston. I'm not getting up at 2 o'clock in the morning to go up to Boston. And, of course, my mother, the voice of reason, is like, are you stoned? It's a national commercial. You go to Boston. So what? You got to go to the Lower East Side. You get up a couple hours early. And I lost that job because my father wouldn't take me to Boston. But I would have been – and that commercial ran for like 11 years.
Oh, yeah. I remember.
The gentleman that did the commercial did very well by that. God bless him. Very well.
Well, you know what?
That's what actually has stopped. That's from 1971 when my dad passed away. I really didn't do much because my mom was a single lady,
right,
trying to work and raise me at the same time. And I started acting in college, basically. So I had that little lull there. But
before college, okay, so you didn't get the Prince Spaghetti commercial, which we're sorry for our bank accounts, of course.
Yeah, I know.
But when I started promoting this interview with you online, I said something which piqued a lot of interest in a lot of people. Of course, because it's true, you are the only actor who had a speaking role in the original Godfather and the TV show The Sopranos. So a lot of people say, well, Uncle Junior, he was in Godfather too, right? And all these others. So we had a bunch of people ask who you played, and I would not give it up in lieu of anything for them to come here tonight and hear it straight from the horse's mouth. So Lou, tell our fans, our following, your monumental role in The Godfather.
Huge, gigantic,
tremendous
screen time, everything. But if you guys remember the wedding scene, James Caan was getting flirty with one of the bridesmaids, and they wound up meeting, and he goes into the house and he takes her up the stairs to do the little, afternoon delight stuff. Well, when he's going up the stairs, if you're not paying total attention to James Caan and a bridesmaid, your eye goes to the right a little bit, you'll see two little kids that run through the hallway, again, making little kid sounds like, bah, 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 and I run into the kitchen and run around the wedding cake. That's me, the first kid. That was back in the day called a bit. That was a bit part. Right. So now also the great Tony Lip, may he rest in peace, was also in Godfather 1, but he didn't have a speaking role.
Right. So
that's the distinguishing thing that my publicist came up with. And then I was blessed enough to do 5 episodes of The Sopranos.
Right. So everybody in social media land, you heard it here first on the Reminiscing with Gene DiNapoli podcast, that the first and only person who appeared in the original Godfather and The Sopranos is Lou Martini Jr. with a Oscar-winning performance.
Well, actually, I was nominated. I didn't win, but I was nominated.
What was the category?
Yeah. Oh God! Anytime I needed a kid with a big mouth, that was me. You know what I'm saying? That was me. Mary Tyler Moore, Barbara Streisand, the kid with the big mouth. Get him.
Now, you were how old when you were in The Godfather? I mean, you
shot that in 70, I think.
Right.
Probably 9 or 10. Yeah, I said I worked a lot up until my dad passed in the middle of 71.
Right.
So, like I said, from the age of 4 to like 10, I worked a lot, like all kinds of stuff. Worked a lot.
And then you concentrated on school, and then you said you got back into acting in college. What did you do between?
Yeah, what happened is long story short about going to school. The first thing I knew is I wanted to. Don't get me wrong, I love my neighborhood where I'm from, Sunnyside, Queens. I love the guys and my dearest friends, and they're still, neighborhood guys. They're still always going to be in your heart stuff. But I knew at this time that I wanted to go away to college and I wanted to get out of the neighborhood. I just wanted to do other things. I had visions of maybe being a sportscaster at this time, and a guy that had become like a stepdad to me when I was younger. After I lost my father, a guy that became kind of like a stepdad to me. I was actually working with the Houston Astros baseball team in Houston. I met him one summer, and he would send me autographs and all that kind of stuff. And when he'd come to New York in the summers for the games, he'd take me and my mom to the games and stuff. Great guy, great, wonderful guy. And so when college time came to go away to college, he said, "You know what? If you come down here and go to University of Houston, it's got a great communications program. I'll set you up. I'll get you a car. We'll hook you all up, and you'll start your college stuff down here." Well, as only the Lou Martini luck would have it, the dark cloud that hangs over my head sometimes. The second day I get there, he takes a job at the Charlotte Motor Speedway and leaves. So now I'm in Houston, Texas, kid from Sunnyside, Queens. I have no idea. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking, okay, do I got to go buy myself a hat and some cowboy boots now? I mean, how do I adapt here? I don't know nothing about this, But you know what, Gene, to this day, it's the greatest thing I ever did. I've got the dearest friends. I still go back once or twice a year. I go to a lot of basketball games that they play in football games. I'm really close to my university, and I do a lot of alumni stuff with them. And it's the greatest thing I ever did because I just saw a whole new world, a whole different group of people, whole different experiences. But that's when I got the acting bug again, because I started hosting a local TV show in Houston called Potpourri. And on this TV show, remember that old show? It was like a magazine type show that did pieces on things. Oh, what was it? Not an Entertainment Tonight, but it was kind of like that show. But it did pieces, not just an entertainment, but everything. Okay. Real life kind of stuff. It was a big show at the time. I don't remember what it was. But this show was tailored after that. But we also threw some comedy skits in there. And I started acting again in the comedy skits, and I loved it. And I guess I got the bug again. I says, you know what? I might want to do this again. I might want to do this. So as push came to shove, and I was thinking about, well, I'm going to be a sportscaster. I'm going to act. I get a job offer to go to Pikeville, Kentucky. Now, Pikeville, Kentucky is a suburb of Cincinnati. We're talking Pikeville, Kentucky, 1984, and Pikeville, Kentucky today is completely different. There was nothing there in Pikeville, Kentucky. And I said to myself, man, do I really want to move to Pikeville, Kentucky, 23 years old? Again, I don't know anybody. I don't know a soul. And start a sportscasting career in Pikeville, Kentucky. I said, you know what? If I go back to New York and get back into the acting, at least I'm amongst my family and my friends, and it's a familiar atmosphere, and that was the deciding factor. I mean, today, if you were to snap your fingers and say, hey, Lou, I'll give you the 6 o'clock sports anchor on ABC in New York, I would take it because I love sportscasting. I would take the job in a second. But at that time, it was like, well, I'm not going to Pikeville, Kentucky. I'm not going to do this again. So I'm going back to New York. And you know what? So far, it's working out. It's been okay.
Yeah, I'd say it's working out. You're considered a working actor in a very competitive field.
Yeah, I haven't worked in a restaurant as a bartender or catering in about 2003 was a break for me when I got a series called Falcone on CBS with Jason Gedrick,
right,
James Russo, and that was a nice little TV break for me. That opened up a lot of TV doors. That's the last time I bartended, or thank God, with the grace of God, either I'm working or you got some residuals coming in, or
right.
If I'm really down on my luck, I go to your house and you give me a plate of spaghetti, which will taste. Right? You and the Colonel. How's the Colonel? Where's the Colonel?
She's upstairs watching the show. She said it's tremendous.
Tremendous. I love the Colonel. We love the Colonel.
We all love the Colonel. So you mentioned before, we're just going to show a quick picture of you in The Sopranos as Anthony Infantante. Mike, could you throw that up there for me? Look at that. You that dark hair and
That's me, yeah.
clean shaven.
Yeah.
You were five episodes.
Mm-hmm. I had those glasses, as a matter of fact. I took those glasses after I was done with the show.
Did they know that?
Yeah, they let me have the glasses. But the great, it's funny, showbiz is like, okay, you can have the glasses, but don't do anything for a year, just in case, we come back and we need those glasses again. So after a year and I was okay where I could do something, I actually changed the lenses and I used to wear those glasses.
Right.
Now I have it I have a little picture of myself and with the glasses, like a little Sopranos
memorial
on my tabletop over there.
So the Sopranos was not projected to be the huge success hit it was, and project guys like James Gandolfini and Stevie Van Zandt and everybody else into multi-stardom. Did you have a feeling when you were on that set with these guys that this was something special?
Well, remember, I came on the last year and a half. So actually, the feeling on that set at that time was everybody was blessed to be there, first of all. I mean, you're just, again, shows like that, people like that, the writing, the directing, the people that you're working with, that doesn't come along all the time. So to be a small part of that, everybody knew they were blessed. But it was kind of winding down. There was at that time, there was rumors of, well, is there going to be another season? James Gandolfini really doesn't want to do another season. He thinks it's peaked. Are we going to go straight to a movie? And so everybody's like, oh man, I hope my character's in a movie. I hope I don't get bumped. So it was that kind of thing. But when I first saw the pilot, you guys got to go back and see the pilot again. Go back and see the pilot. The pilot is the most amazing thing. I had not seen a show like that. People forget about the music of The Sopranos, the way they integrated the music into the show. It's some of the most, the scores and the songs they use is amazing. And that first pilot, there was a scene where Jimmy's chasing somebody. He's chasing somebody for money. And you would probably know the song. They got this great doo-wop song in the background that just heightened everything up. And it was like, the energy, the intensity was amazing for television. It was like watching a movie on TV. And if you watch every Sopranos episode on its own, it's like watching a movie. I mean, that's how they were done.
Even though it was a weekly show, there was a beginning and an end to every episode.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was a mini movie.
These episodes could live on their own independently.
Right. So we have a very good friend of ours online, Ed Montalbano, who I was very honored to be at his wedding. I know his 5 beautiful daughters all my life, the girls. He asked a question, and this is going to segue into a part of the show where you're probably going to get a little red. But his question is, hey, Gene, can Lou sing? And you know what, Ed? Thank you for that question. We're going to go now live to a videotape of Lou in one of his vocal performances. Mike, can you bring it up so we can share it?
I can. Let's share the screen. It's going to take me a second, but let's do this.
All right, go ahead, kill me.
Okay, so we can all see it, right?
Yes.
Okay.
This is on the cruise to Bermuda that Lou came with us, and I didn't even know you had this. This is fun.
After much alcohol.
Yes, we had the free drink package.
Yes, we did for a week.
Okay, are you sitting behind 2 pianos? What is that?
Yeah, it was a dueling piano situation.
And they face each other and they both play songs all night.
Nice.
Try to stump them.
Right. Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
Etiquette 101 is no matter what you were doing, if you were doing a show, whatever, and another entertainer walked into the room, the first thing you would do is you would acknowledge that person. And I'm not even saying bring him up to sing a song, but you acknowledge him. And what these guys have done for me and Gene all week is an amazing, wonderful, fantastic thing, ladies and gentlemen, to share the stage. So give these guys.
Are we watching the right thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, we sing there.
Okay.
Really? All right, so as they call me Louis Two Tones, I got a new nickname. Because I know one song and
He calls me that because I know one song.
I can do like 3,000 monologues for you and bore the shit out of you because I'm an actor. But we're gonna do a song for my boy from Indiana, because Ross from Indiana. How about that?
Of course, I got to work the crowd to
Fans out there?
forget about how bad the song is going to be.
All right, Phil, let's go.
Here we go.
I said, come on, everybody.
All right, that's enough of that. I thought you were going to show me and Gene singing.
No.
Where is that? Is that on there?
Yeah, it's on. I sent you a couple. You got one with me and Gene singing.
Okay, that's an. Can we show that one real quick?
Yeah,
but just remember, all actors want to be singers, and all singers want to be actors.
Okay. Is this "Rock Me Gently"? Is that the Andy Kim song we're playing next?
Yeah, go ahead. Go with the.
All right, here we go.
We're just gonna go song after song now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Casey,
Okay, people want to know if we can sing, so let's stick it down their throat.
So this is at a restaurant that I do quite often on Arthur Avenue, Mike, called Rigoletto's, and Lou's been so great when he comes there.
Okay, here we go. Let's just add it to the stream. You gotta see this.
This is again after a night of drinking.
You notice how serious I am about it.
I just like how the people don't even see you there.
He turns me into Wayne Newton, Gene.
Look, he's bouncing. You're bouncing.
Bouncing. He's bouncing.
Hey, you got people up there. So look at you.
All right.
That's it. No more. I created a monster.
He does it all. He does it all.
I created a monster.
I tell you, but Mike, what I was saying on the cruise in the beginning about the guys and how nice they were to me and Gene. They treated me and Gene like gods. Every night they wanted us to come up there and sing with them. It was really, really, really great. But the point that I was making, the one thing about Gene DiNapoli is, and this is, when a guy is really a genuine good guy, because it doesn't happen in this business anymore. Back in the day when Gene was starting and when I was starting, no matter who was on stage and who walked in a room, the person on stage would say, "Hey, look who walked into that room. Look at Mr. Gene. Say hello to Mr. Gene." There was no egos involved, no selfishness. You never get that anymore. And Gene, like I said, even when I just met Gene, I think the first time I went to go see Gene after we met, he gave me a big to-do. Hey, everybody, Lou Martini Jr. from The Sopranos or whatever at that time I was doing. And that means a lot. That's Gene DiNapoli is a class act, everybody. I don't want to hear anything.
Thank you.
That means a lot, because that's a true entertainer. That's what the entertainers, and it was the Etiquette 101.
Yes.
That's entertainers what you do.
Well,
You always acknowledge other entertainers.
It's when you grow up in the business or you're taught by somebody. So many people today, they get into the business because they think they could sing or they're living a dream and they don't know etiquette. But I will tell you, one time I introduced you and it backfired on me. It was the first time. It was the first time I played BB King's in the city. And here I am, Mike, there's 200 people in the room. The place is packed. And there's a line of people waiting to take pictures with me. And I says, and my friend from The Soprano, Lou Martini, and everybody got off my line. And they made a line.
At BB King's. Wow.
It's like at the supermarket. When a line opens up, everybody wants to, get on the short line. That's
short line.
That's right.
Charlene, Lou, you know Charlene?
Yeah.
Said better than New Year's Eve. Wow.
Oh, that's my Jersey neighbor. Hey, Charlene.
Yes.
Hey,
and also, our good friend Ralph Bracco commented he wants you to do a cameo in Murdered by the Mob.
Okay, done. Me and Ralph did a couple of short films together. Had a lot of fun with Ralph. Absolutely. I was in the cast before Ralph. I don't know if Ralph owns the show now, but he came in. The original people with the show have passed. Ron Pacey and Joni, really, really nice people. And I was in the original production of that on. I think they're still doing it at a restaurant called Arno's.
Yeah,
we had a lot of fun doing that show. And I don't think I got to do that show with Ralph. I think Ralph came after.
He came after you.
But I just to have a couple of laughs with Ralph, that'd be great. Let me know, Ralph, anytime.
We should all do it together.
Anytime, yeah. Let's do a celebrity night of it.
So now, in addition to Sopranos, I mean, this list of shows you've been on, and I'm not even talking about the shows where you did one episode and got pushed to the wayside. We're talking about Crashing, one of my favorites, Vinyl, Orange is the New Black, Sneaky Pete, and more importantly, The Deuce with James Franco.
Yeah, The Deuce was a great experience working with Jimmy Franco.
Yeah.
Phenomenal experience. Yeah, that was good. So we shot that. I did the pilot? Yeah, I did the pilot. And it was supposed to be recurring at the time, but didn't work out to be recurring. But I was his first boss. If you guys remember the show, I fired him from my bar in Brooklyn. And he goes to the city and he gets a job at, in the Times Square area and hooks up with all the mobsters and stuff down there.
Right.
But yeah, I got something coming on actually Thursday night. I got
we'll get to that. We'll get to that.
Okay.
But in addition to being that, you also are the king of never picked up TV shows, right? You've done more pilot episodes and shows that just never got picked up.
Oh man, I'll tell you. I'll tell you one quick story about the one that I thought was going to be a career maker.
Yeah.
Okay? Back in the day, and I'm not going to say the actor's name, but back in the day, I was cast to play the lead in an NBC show. James Burrows, the king of all sitcom creators, a James Burrows NBC show called Goody and Company, and it was about a Boston family that ran a deli. And I was supposed to be the lead, the son, where Lainey Kazan was going to play my mom, and the actor that was going to play my father. I got flown to Hollywood late Thursday night for a Friday, what they call test. And the great thing about this is it was like a one-shot deal. Usually you have to go through 5 or 6 auditions. You have to do a network audition, a producer's audition, and all this kind of stuff. And I guess somebody had been fired from the part and from the show, and they were getting ready to do the table read on Monday and shoot the thing on the following Friday. So I'm like, this is great. 3 scenes. So I get to Hollywood Thursday night. I get up Friday morning. I go to the studio. There's a room full of like 30 people, network executives, all kinds of stuff. But as an actor, you dream of this because there's one shot. It's great. This is great. I did the 3 scenes. I nailed it. They loved me. I walked out of the room. I called my mom. God bless my mom, because she was always the first call. Still is always the first call when something happens. I love you, Mom. Miss you, Mom. And I said, Mom, we got this. James Burrows, NBC, my own sitcom. My life is going to change. This is what I've dreamt of. Well, Saturday morning, this actor got in somewhat of a domestic dispute. It hit all the papers. And Monday, the show was scrapped. Totally scrapped.
Wow.
I got the call that the show was not moving forward. And if it was to move forward, they'd let me know. So I guess they chose not to recast or whatever reason they chose.
Right.
Yeah. That would have been a big one. That would have been
a casualty of somebody else's problem.
Yeah. And unfortunately, also from what I know of the situation, from what I know of the person and stuff, the person got totally railroaded on it. It didn't happen like the papers, fake news. It was fake news back then also too.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
We got a picture of you in what's considered the first reality show. You did a show called The Gastineau Girls.
Yeah, one of the first. There he is with the hat on. That's with Lisa Gastineau and Brittany Gastineau. Lisa Gastineau was the ex-wife of the football player,
right?
Mark Gastineau with the Jets. And they had a reality show about them, the mother-daughter, beautiful girls running around Manhattan and stuff. And I was their doorman who narrated the show. And I did the first season of that, and it did great. The numbers did great. As a matter of fact, I did that at the same time I was on Sopranos. So I had 2 shows at the same time, which is phenomenal. It's fantastic. And then the second season renewal came, and they decided they didn't want the doorman anymore. And the second season without me lasted 1 episode.
Really?
What does that tell you, folks? Leave the doorman in the show.
Always. Wasn't the doorman in the Jeffersons an integral part of that show?
Absolutely. And how about Carlton, your doorman on Rhoda? I just watched Rhoda the other night.
Right.
Carlton, your doorman. Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
You've done some work. You've done a lot of work with ex-Sopranos alumni. But we got a picture of you and Catherine. Mike, could you put the picture up of there you go.
The Dooch, me and Kathy.
So tell me what's with the priest outfit, Lou?
Oh, that was a movie we did a few years ago called To Redemption. It's on Amazon. You can see it on Amazon. And it's about a family with some really, really dark secrets. And one of the secrets is I was their priest who was actually molesting 2 of their kids at the time. Really, really dark role. Interesting story about that is the whole reason I took that role was for this one scene that was just a phenomenal scene where this guy, this priest, came out to his bishop and he basically fessed up to his sins to the bishop and was asking for help. And I thought it was a phenomenal thing because it showed the human side of this guy. He admitted he had problems, that he was wrong and he was sick, and he was begging the church to help him. So
Wow.
the day before we're getting ready to shoot that scene, the producer comes up to me and says, "Oh, Lou, I got some bad news. We're not going to be able to do that scene." I'm like, "Are you kidding me? That's like the best scene in the movie." You know, he says, "Well, we're having a problem in the Catholic Church." And I'm like, "But that's the whole deal, man.
Right.
That's real. You can't just show this guy as a one-dimensional monster. I mean, these pedophiles and stuff out there are real people. This is a great way to go into their minds and see why they're doing this and whatever." And the guy was asking for help, and somebody from the Catholic Church got a hold of it and said, "You're not shooting that scene." And they bowed down to the Catholic Church. I was really disappointed because that was the sole. I mean, it's still a good movie, and I'm happy with what I did, the work I did with it, and everybody was phenomenal. And Catherine Arducci and Jane McCaffrey and a couple of young kids that were in it were fantastic.
Yes.
Well, it's just a shame that somebody got to somebody and said we don't want that, and the producers kind of said, "Okay, well, we'll cut that." So,
Right. It happened.
Redemption. It's on Amazon.
Right. We're going to look at that. Mike, you got a couple of pictures there of Lou and his Sopranos alumni. Can you throw them up? First off, the picture. All right. So there we got Vinnie Pastore, Federici. We got the great director, Paul Borghese. Who's the gentleman to the left? I can't see too much.
Oh, his name is on the tip of my tongue. He's as an Irish name, first of all, great stage actor too. Phenomenal stage actor. God, it's killing me. I don't remember his name.
He looked very familiar. That's why I asked.
Yeah, he's so good.
And the guy at the end?
And the guy in the middle is, of course, he's a prolific playwright. I've done a bunch of his plays. Richard Viteri, who also is a wonderful guy, wonderful playwright. Also has had some TV things produced, some movies produced. That's Richie Viteri.
Yeah, I met Rich.
Of course, Cousin Vinny, looking slim and fit on the end there as well.
Of course. Yeah, I met Rich when you were doing Centennial casting.
Yeah, right.
I actually drove him home that night.
Right.
And the next picture, Mike, from the Sopranos era? That's the one we spoke about.
That's the dinner I crashed. Yeah.
I'm not sure which I have. That one I have Sopranos 2, and that's all I have from the
That's the right one. That's the right one.
Was the right one? Okay.
Yeah. Tony Darrow is going to be our guest next week, Lou.
Great.
And Tony's an old friend of the family's.
A lot of people don't know that Tony's also a singer too. Tony started out as a singer.
We're going to very much touch on that subject. Lou, what makes our show different here is that I'm a student of music and film. So I know when actors do songs and singers do acting, and I try to let everybody know they have other talents other than just what they're known for.
Right.
Like you with the singing of, Rock Me Gently.
Right.
People are going to go out and Spotify and look up Lou Martini, Rock Me Gently.
Well, I have a bunch of drunken karaoke on the net. People be able to find that stuff easy.
That's great. So one of my favorite actors since back in the day, Eric Roberts.
Yeah.
I mean, if that guy didn't win an Academy Award for Pope of Greenwich Village, I don't know why, but you just recently did something with him, right? Yeah,
I did. I've done 4 movies with Eric. I've done 4 movies now with Eric. 4 movies. And I tell you, Eric said one of the nicest things that was ever said to me. And I repeat this story to a lot of people because we're in kind of a crummy business with a lot of crummy people. And when somebody does something really nice, I like to make sure that everybody knows they did it, And at this time when I was doing a movie with Eric, I guess we were just, shooting the breeze and just having to talk about the business and stuff like that. And I was kind of in a down period at this time and wondering what was going to happen next and, worried about getting a little older, a little grayer and and the parts and all that kind of stuff. And basically he told me, he says, Lou, look, I'm a fan of your work. I've seen your work. I'm working with you now. He says, You're phenomenal. You're fantastic. You know, keep fighting, man. He says, the only difference between me and you, now this is Eric Roberts. He says, the only difference between me and you is I got luckier, which meant the world to me, man. The world. For Eric Roberts to say the only difference between me and him, he got a little bit luckier, you know, to be at the level that he's at right now.
Well, you could see in the picture.
That's a tremendous thing to say.
Tremendous, yes. You could see in the picture with you and him, which we're going to show right now. See, a guy doesn't hug you like that unless he's genuine.
Yes.
So that's a good thing to know that Eric is that way. But I think he's a great actor, and I think he should have gotten an Academy Award nomination for the Pope.
If you're an Eric Roberts fan, you got to see Runaway Train.
Runaway Train.
Phenomenal. Him and John Voight together, and Eric again is tremendous in it. Great.
But the movie you did with him was called Redemption.
No, Eric Roberts' movies I did was called West End. Is the West End, and that picture is from a movie called Oiled Up. That's the last two I did with him.
And what kind of character did you play in those movies?
In West End, I was a nightclub manager that kind of a sleazy nightclub manager that I get whacked by Eric Roberts' mafia family. And then in Oiled Up, I was a degenerate gambler, and I owed Eric some money, and him and his boys took care of me. That's actually a shot on the pier where they tied me up and took care of me on the pier there. Working with Eric is fun, man. Fun guy. And again, like I said, genuine. No BS. Genuine, good guy. He loves people. He cares for people. Loves animals too, which is great. In my book, if you love animals, that's 9 out of 10 for me. The big animal person.
I couldn't find a picture of the two of you together, but you worked with Annabella in a movie. I mean, how was that working with her? I mean,
again, you know, the consummate professional.
She's an underrated actress.
Yeah. Well, she was, you know, at the time, again, I guess, again, it gets a little difficult as you get older, this business as a female. If Annabella was her age back then, if Annabella was her age back then, now she'd be working like crazy again, because the business is really looking to diversify. It's actually over diversified. You know what I'm saying? But at that time, for a good 5 years there, she was like the #1 ethnic actress for scripts to go to and TV shows.
Yes.
Yeah, she had a really, really nice career for such.
And she's a beautiful lady as well.
Great actress. Great.
You won Best Actor Award in Houston, Texas?
Very proud of this. It looks like a People's Choice Award. Hold on.
Okay, look at this. Ladies and gentlemen, we're actually going to get a visual.
Visual props.
We're cutting to a prop. Okay.
Look at that.
Lou, tell us. Pick it up a little bit, Lou. Look at that.
Isn't that beautiful crystal?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what is it?
My first acting award.
Really?
Yeah.
What year was that?
2013. And you're going to get a kick out of this story.
Please.
It's a movie called Suicide Notes, a comedy that we shot down in Texas. And I was supposed to do it with Morgan Fairchild, but she dropped out at the last minute. So basically, I was the only name in it. But great local cast. They were all great. Sue Rock and people that I worked with, they were great. So it's a movie about a playwright writes a play about an actor committing suicide on stage. And I get the idea, along with this wacky producer, Sue Rock, maybe we can get real actors to commit suicide on stage and it'd be a big hit.
Oh, my God.
So it's a really, really dark comedy. But here's the catch. Not only do I own the theater and direct all the plays in the theater, I'm a nudist. So I'm pretty much naked from the waist up the whole movie. There's a couple of quick glimpses of maybe a butt cheek here and there, but I play a nudist. It got me the award, baby. It got me the award.
That's great.
Best actor in a feature film. This was 2013, and I was up against Edward James Olmos. Eric Roberts was nominated.
Wow.
A couple of big names. So I thought I had no chance. And the really nice thing about that is when they introduced me to get the award, they said it was the first time in the history of the Houston Festival that the award was unanimous by the critics.
Wow.
So that's pretty wild. So that's also on Amazon. You can see it on Amazon. It's called Suicide Notes.
Suicide Notes.
Wacky black comedy.
We're going to look for everybody, please. I'll look this up so we can
Suicide Notes.
Now, you know, Lou, I got to tell you, I don't watch many TV shows that deal with real life situations. I live in my own little bubble. Okay. So when you're on TV, I have to watch these shows because you're my friend and I revere your talent. But one of the most realistic shows is SVU.
SVU. I do the same thing.
Yeah.
I call it STD. But I do everything.
And I really don't like to watch those shows, but I do. And we have a clip of one of you. Now you were on that a few times, correct?
Well, actually, the episode that I just shot was my 17th episode of the Law and Order family in general. And now I have a recurring role on SVU. I think this is going to be my, I think I shot 3 episodes now as this character. And after the clip, I'll tell you the history of the character. It's pretty interesting.
Okay, Mike, let's go to the videotape. Let's roll Lou Martini Jr. in. Great. What's your character's name in that?
So my character's name is Ron Fredo. See how everything comes in full circle? It's pretty strange. Fredo, like the Godfather. And what happened is when I shot the first of the 2 episodes that I did last year, when I got hired, my name was like Ron Parker, and it just was a guest spot. It wasn't going to be recurring or anything. So I get to my dressing room the day I'm supposed to shoot, and there's a sticker on my door that says Fredo. Now I'm thinking somebody's playing a joke on me. Maybe the director, Mike Smith, who I know, worked with in a couple episodes. But this was right around the Chris Cuomo thing. Do you remember the Chris Cuomo incident?
Sure.
He called him Fredo, and he said it's a derogatory, whatever, and he did all that kind of stuff. So when I go to set, I'm like, all right, Mike, who put the Fredo sticker on my door? He says, no, Lou. He says, that's going to be a recurring character now. We want you to play this lawyer, Ron Fredo, and we want you to recur on the show. So I'm like, fantastic. So now I just did my, I guess, 3rd or 4th episode as Fredo. And actually we'll be on this Thursday night. We'll be on the premiere. And it's a really, really controversial episode for SVU. So I think it's on 10 o'clock Thursday night on NBC. Don't miss it. You'll see a little more Fredo, and it's really – and I'll tell you, too, also, Mariska and Peter Scanavino and all the guys in SVU, the nicest set I've ever been on in the business. Nobody treats you better as a guest or a background actor, whatever you do at SVU. Just a wonderful, wonderful set. Wonderful set. I love them. Great to me. They're great to me.
That's fabulous.
Yeah.
There's 2 other pictures I want to show before we get to our final segment. Oh, it looks like we got blocked with that segment. So it's okay. We'll apologize. And
what got blocked?
It says NBCU creative content has taken action on your video.
You got that popped up by Eugene?
Yep.
Was it Manifest?
I don't know.
No, it's
SVU.
SVU.
Wow.
Yeah.
You showed an SVU. You going to show it an SVU?
That was
And then they saw it, so we got to delete it.
Oh, well, it aired too late.
Yeah. Okay, Mike.
Sorry, SVU. I'm promoting the show. I thought that'd be a good thing.
Yeah.
I didn't show a clip from the show that's coming up, obviously.
No.
It's an old clip.
Right.
My apologies to NBC. You have it on videotape. Did not know.
Yes.
Thought it was okay to show an old clip. Sorry, guys.
Of course, we thought with everything on YouTube, we thought everything was public.
Yeah.
Especially if we're going to promote the show.
Yeah.
So, you joined me on stage a few times in Riverdale, where I did a show with multiple acts, and if I ever become a singer or an actor and I win an Academy Award, you could always say that Gene DiNapoli sang backup for you. So, Mike, show the picture of me and Lou on stage. It's a little blurry, but I think we could see who's in what. Yeah. So there's you, Lou, and there's
me.
You
made fun of my shirt. You made fun. And actually, though, see, there's nothing like singing with a live band. That was the best I've ever sang in my life. I was great that night, may I say, Gene.
Yes, you are.
I
yes.
really good with the band that night.
Yes.
Really.
I'm so glad you're so humble, Lou. I really am. And
look at that shirt. Look at that. That's a beautiful shirt. You didn't like my
great.
shirt.
You were great. And let's go to the other picture, Mike.
Which one? Which one, Gene? Which one?
The one backstage with me, Lou.
Yeah.
So, Lou, here's me, you, Jeannie Claire, Lloyd Diamond, and our dear friend Pepe, who is no longer with us. But
one of a kind, Pepe.
Yeah, I actually blew that up for you. Next time I see you, I'm going to give you a copy.
Oh, I'd love to have that.
Yes, of course.
I'd love that.
So, in addition to acting and singing, you've also been a very avid writer. And I know that coming up, you're going to live one of your dreams. And one of your dreams is, listen, it's not a secret. You
want to wear your jumpsuit?
You want to be Elvis Presley.
Yes, really.
So you wrote a screenplay called King Killers, where a down and out Elvis impersonator.
I wonder where I got my inspiration from.
I wonder. But so how is that? Is that coming to fruition?
We're really close. We have a co-production deal with a company called Evolutionary Films in London. You know what? I should have sent you the poster. Do I have time to send you the poster?
I think so.
You can. The only thing is, I think they actually blocked the video. I'm not sure if it's live anymore.
Okay.
They didn't. But you know,
that's okay. But the poster's me in a jumpsuit.
But we could, if you want to send it, we could take this. We can cut that part out where it violated that, and then we could piece it together and upload it again if they remove it for some reason.
Yeah. So we'll do that. You know what, Lou? All my guests have been so great. We're gonna have to do part 2 in the coming year. So we'll do another follow up. Look at that, King Killer. Is that you in a jumpsuit?
That's me in the jumpsuit.
Where'd you get that jumpsuit?
Guy is a knife. I think it's a cool idea.
Where'd you get that jumpsuit?
I got the jumpsuit from your friend, the Philly Elvis, Nick Ferraro. They call him the Philly Elvis. Good guy.
Yeah.
Yours didn't fit. Remember, we tried to when I was going to do a photo shoot like a year ago. Yours didn't fit for some reason.
It fit around the belly, but I think I'm a little shorter than you.
Yeah, it didn't work out. Didn't work. But I used your jewelry, like I said.
Yes, you did.
But King Killer, we got a deal with Evolutionary Films. We're going after some directors right now. We have some financing. We're hoping to shoot it sometime late next year. And I would like to, if we could, and remember, Gene, I got the house now for us. Me and Gene are going to do the Graceland thing this year together for the Elvis week in August. Man, if somehow we could be like in production at that time and I can get a couple of days at Graceland, that'd be great.
We'll take an iPhone 10 and we'll make it work one way or another.
Because I wrote a story about this middle-aged, middle-life crisis guy, Elvis tribute artist, is going through, and his mom, who killed his father when he was young because she was obsessed with Elvis Presley and she was teaching her son everything she knew about Elvis Presley, and the dad didn't want to hear. So she gets out of prison and decides that she wants her son to be the next king of rock and roll and win the big Elvis contest in Memphis. So she goes around the country with my girlfriend, who's just like Ginger Alden. No coincidence, of course. Whacking all the big Elvis tribute artists across the country. It's called King Killer. Right. Very, very funny script, and said we got to deal with it. So now we're just hoping to get a director attached and then start casting and shooting.
I'm sure you will, Lou.
Okay, real quick, guys, just so you know, the video's blocked. It's not being streamed live right now.
Okay.
So we're still recording. So when this is done, I'll offload it. I'll cut the part that violates out and this part out until it'll flow.
You got it.
Okay.
Wow, so they blocked the whole video now, huh?
They did. They blocked the whole video for that.
Now, I don't understand. People have whole episodes of things on YouTube they put on there.
They stream live TV and it goes.
I know.
Oh.
Well, we didn't do it with the intention of offending anybody. We did it to let people know the careers and the outcomes and the way things are done. But
to watch the show Thursday night.
What?
And to watch the show Thursday night.
And to watch the show. But, some people think, we don't make money off it, so we don't see any harm in it. But, Lou, we've gotten some great comments. We'd like you to go back and watch the video when it is up. Wonderful stories, very talented guy. Always watch.
He knows Jesse.
What? Oh, hi, Jesse. Yeah. Can you get the cat's ass out of the way? Thank you. Hi, Jesse.
Hi, Jesse.
Hi, Jesse. So, let me ask you this very quickly. How are you dealing with COVID and being cooped up, and you're doing a lot of writing, right?
Well, we just went back to work. Like I said, I just shot the SVU a couple of weeks ago. I'm actually going to do a little guest spot on Blue Bloods that I'm shooting next week. Be the first time I'm doing Blue Bloods, so that'll be fun. Yeah, the industry is coming back slowly with all the, wearing a mask in between takes and a lot of plastic up, and you got to take the test every day and things like that. It's adding a lot of money to budgets. The unfortunate thing about it is, like, some of the independent things that we're supposed to doing is, I mean, if it adds $300,000 to your budget, you know, you got to put stuff on hold right now. But the big guys like NBC and people like that, they're all slowly coming back to work because they can afford the COVID measures that they have to take with the social distancing and the sterilization and all that stuff. The big guys can do that. So it's going to start to slowly get a little busier again for us, which is good.
Well, we hope so, for not only your sake, for everybody's sake. So, Lou, we want to thank you. And by the way, YouTube, we do this on YouTube, and it was still going there.
It's still streaming on YouTube.
Yeah. So everybody still sees it. We might have to move this over to YouTube permanently because if Facebook is going to continue to control.
Again, it doesn't make any sense because like that show, you can go on demand and watch it. It's on Amazon. It's everywhere. It's a show. Right. It's a show from last year.
And we actually got the clip from YouTube, so that's why maybe it's still playing on YouTube. Maybe Facebook is more strict.
Maybe.
We'll edit that out. We'll edit that part out, and we'll restream it on Facebook. And
we'll restream it. We'll take the audio to go to ItalianAmericanRadio.com.
Right.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we do every week, will you please give our guest and my dear friend, Mr. Lou Martini Jr., the biggest round of applause we could give him. Thanks, Lou.
Hey, thank you, Gene. You know, I love you like a brother. This was fun. Congratulations on the show.
Thank you.
Great luck with the show. Keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you.
Mike, nice meeting you. Thanks for all the help.
Thank you, Lou.
God willing, we'll see everybody soon, right?
See you real soon.
And once we get the program out, Lou, I'll send you the link where you can share it with that clip, cut out on Facebook.
Okay. Let me give you a virtual hug.
You got it. TCB, baby.
TCB, baby. Love you guys.
See you, pal.
Lou, take care. Wow, that's what, Gina, that's terrible, isn't it?
It's it's just the way it is right now. And I'm hearing there's different ways now to do things. There's a new platform out. I heard my wife's going to talk to me later about it. But listen, I love Facebook, but I've been hearing too many things. And if they're going to control what we do, even for a 20 or 30 or 40-second clip, maybe it's not the way to go anymore. So if you're watching us here, please go to my channel, type in Gene DiNapoli on YouTube, subscribe to my channel to see everything we do. Right. Yeah. So, Mike, next week's guest, another wonderful actor, Tony Darrow, who was in Analyze That, The Sopranos, and more notably for the scene, he's the guy that Joe Pesci cracks in the head in Goodfellas.
Right.
So Tony will be here next week with us. So we hope everybody is going to join us to give everybody a preview of what's coming up. So after Tony on November 23rd, how many people remember a song goes, sugar, dun, 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 honey. That's right. We have the great Ron Dante, the voice of the Archies and the voice of the Cufflinks, producer of 9 Barry Manilow albums, and currently a member of the Turtles. Ron Dante will be with us. You got that banner you want to throw up?
I don't have the banners after Tony's.
Okay. Then on the 30th, we're going to bring in a friend of mine who's probably one of the greatest Italian tenors on the planet, Aaron Caruso, who not only is a singer but a fine actor. He was actually in a play called The Great Lanza, which was produced by Tommy Mottola. So he's going to be the 30th. And then finally, coming full circle, our first guest was supposed to be Larry Chance of Larry Chance and the Earls. Larry had gotten sick, and we're so pleased and happy that Larry will be with us on December the 7th. Right. Am I correct? December 7th.
The 7th, yeah.
Okay, you ready for my next two, ladies and gentlemen? My next two. Is everybody out there ready for my next two?
I think so.
Here we go. Excuse me. I got to get drum roll.
Yeah, I was trying to find a drum roll real quick. I didn't know it was.
Do the drum roll.
How about a little crazy horn?
Crazy horn. December 14th, one of the original teen idols, the man who made Venus in Blue Jeans a worldwide hit, Mr. Jimmy Clanton will be with us. Jimmy, she's Venus in Blue Jeans. Come on, you can sing out there. And then we're working on him today. He called me. I'm going to call him tomorrow. He said the date looks good. Now, Mike, this is a surprise for you.
Okay.
You ready?
I'm ready.
One of the biggest hit songs on the planet, 1960. It was an itsy bitsy. That's right. Brian Hyland is going to be our guest. We're looking at the 21st of December. So we need you to join our page, subscribe to my channel on YouTube so that you will be notified of everything we do.
And wait till they hear January, Gene.
Okay. Nobody's commenting.
Well, because they're not seeing it right now.
Oh, so they all got blocked off.
All of Facebook is down. Now just YouTube is streaming.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but it's okay. But we'll put it back up. We'll cut that part out.
Yeah.
And we'll put it back up.
We're going to cut it out. And so if we have any Elvis Presley fans in the house, do we have any Elvis Presley fans in the house? I think we do. So Elvis birthday, January. We're going to make all January Elvis month. We have 2 confirmed guests. And I tell you, Mike, I am so tickled because these gentlemen and these ladies that we're hoping to get do not do many interviews. First off, on my birthday, January 4th, we have one of Elvis Presley's stepbrothers, Billy Stanley, whose mom married Elvis's dad in 1960, is going to be with us on January 4th. And then on January the 11th, how many people remember when Elvis Presley played in the round in his black leather suit? Do you remember that?
I do.
Well, that was called the 68 Special. They named it the comeback, but Elvis never went away. So technically there was no comeback. But we have director, Mr. Steve Binder, who nurtured that show and gave Elvis advice because he had done so many shows before. We're going to have Steve Binder on the show to answer a lot of questions and debunk a lot of myths that have been spoken about that show. So if anybody has any questions they'd like us to ask Billy or Steve, send it to me through the inbox of Reminiscing with Gene DiNapoli, and we're going to put them on the screen. We're going to talk to them. We have a lovely lady who starred in one of Elvis's movies called Kissing Cousins. Cynthia Pepper will be with us. We're working on a date. And then we also have Elvis's tour manager, gentleman by the name of Charles Stone, who's going to be with us. So we're juggling the dates now because who's going to go away for the holidays and come back? We don't want to inconvenience anybody. So join the channel, subscribe, and don't miss any of our shows. They're up for all the world to see.
Right. And I might have a surprise for you, Gene.
You do?
I might have someone for Elvis month. I'll talk to you off the air first because it might be a little controversial, but it might be worth seeing the side of Elvis.
Okay. We could do an additional show in addition to what the others are.
Or it could be a 15-minute segment. It doesn't have to be
Absolutely.
Okay.
So, Mike, I did another wonderful show.
Yes.
Let's thank our sponsors once again. For those of you in the Bronx, please visit Pure Organic Dry Cleaners, 3166 East Tremont Avenue. See Wally, mention our podcast, pay for 3 items, get the 4th one free. Our friends Howard and Karen at Dream Destination Travel for the best in cruise and destination weddings. Check them out on their phone and their website. Mention the podcast, get a free American Express gift card, either $50 or $100. CBD, sweetheal.com for gummies, oils, and anything you want natural to help you get along with any ailments. Please mention my name, get 20% off your orders and a free gift. And last but not least today, Francisco, this creative CPA, accounting, taxes, and estate planning services. Everything is on our page under offers. We have 2 sponsors which are in contract right now. They're going to add them to our list. Wonderful. I love doing this. Something that me and Mike will be doing over the next week. We're going to start. I was recently asked to interview 40 lovely young ladies from the Miss International World Pageant, which will take place on a Bahama cruise in February. So we're going to be interviewing all 40 ladies, maybe 5-6 a night, 15-minute segments. So make sure you join our page so you know when that happens. And Mike, I'm actually going to dress up for that. I'm going to wear a tuxedo.
Tuxedo, nice. like
Here
that.
she is, Miss International World. You remember him?
Of course. Of
Yes.
course.
And not on a sad note, but a happy note that he lived a long and wonderful life. We want to send our best out to the family of Alex Trebek,
Yeah,
the longtime host of a great show called Jeopardy. Wonderful. You learn a lot from shows like that. So check us out. If you happen to know anybody that wants to sponsor anybody, ladies and gentlemen, we're always looking for people. Our shows are seen across the United States, probably all over the world at some point. And it's a reoccurring ad which never dies.
That's right.
So if you have a small or big business, we think you should contact me. Matter of fact, if Joe Remini is listening, Joe, I unfortunately lost your number. Can you please send it to me again? I'm sorry about that. That's not how I do things, but please send it to me again, Joe. Listen to our shows on ItalianAmericanRadio.com. Check out producer Mike's other shows on the J12 Podcast Network. And check out the website, GeneDiNapoli.com, for all my upcoming shows and my projects. Mike, you got anything to add?
No, I think you said it all. I think we'll straighten this out and we'll post it back up to Facebook so people could see it.
You know what? Before you leave, put that picture up of Lou and Barbara. Can you do that?
Okay.
This is before Lou Martini got fired by Barbara Streisand. This is on the kid on the set of Funny Girl.
I think he's pointing to her nose.
I don't think that's Barbara. Is that Barbara?
It doesn't look like her, is it?
No, but that's on the set. But that's so cute.
That is.
But Mike, thank you again. Once again, we need to talk about other things we need to do. So, ladies and gentlemen, as we say every week, stay well, stay safe, be kind.
Yes.
And God bless you.
We'll
Take care, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, Mike.
Good.
Cheers.